Hi everyone, how's it going? Today I'm in Hazelbrook in the Blue Mountains. With the wet weather that's happened over the past week or so, I've decided to go up to the mountains and check out some waterfalls, so hopefully the flow is good. So we're going to have a look at Horseshoe Falls as the main one, but walking along Burgess Falls track. And then seeing what's there, and then depending on I guess how long the track ends up being, we'll go to the Venus track. I can't remember the name, I'll figure it out later, and check out some more waterfalls there. So yeah, so not exactly on Burgess Falls trail, I'm sort of doing ones a bit around it and then trying to make it a loop somehow. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, we'll check out a couple of waterfalls. Yeah, so as usual, thank you for coming along and we shall see how this hike goes. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not following, I guess, the Burgess Falls track to start off with. I've sort of done one off to the side, so it means I don't do Fairy Falls and Horseshoe Falls first. After like sort of a bit of scrambling, it's not too bad. You reach these set of falls, and then I'll walk down a little bit further to get to the bottom set. But yeah, this is a lot quieter than your main track, which I'll end up doing on the way back. But it's a nice way to start off with some peace and quiet. So yeah. Alright, so I've now reached the bottom of the falls. I was hoping that it might have been dark enough to see the glowworms, because it's also known to have glowworms, but I think it might just be a night activity. But these falls are really cool, you can walk behind them. There's like nice places to sit. Yeah, so I'm going to chill here for a bit and then continue on the track. Alright, so I made the turn off for Amphitheatre walking track, but as soon as I cross the river I can't really see clearly where to go next, because the ferns are sort of everywhere and I can't really figure it out. So to avoid me having to get lost and spend more time mucking around than I need to, I'm just going to continue on Burgess walking track and then see if I can find anything on the Amphitheatre walking track. Like I saw the sign for it on the other side, but I couldn't see any like markers to continue on. So yeah, I'm just gonna head back to the crossing and then continue on my way. just got one set of falls left, which is Burgess Falls. Again, not exactly following Burgess Falls trails, it's sort of following the lower trails after you leave Oakland's falls. So yeah, so we're going to continue along there. I don't think there's any more sort of side trails left, but yeah, we'll see how we go and see what we see. Okay, so I've reached the last set of falls, which is Burgess Falls. So gonna hang around here for a bit, gonna do some reading, same book as last time. I haven't read in the last week, so gonna do a few chapters here. And then I'll finish off Burgess Falls track, and then, as I mentioned earlier, we'll head back via the street back to the car. So yeah. Alright, so I've just come out of Hazel Avenue. The track after Burgess Falls, you can follow the track that goes to Winbourne Street, or Winbourne Road, which is what I did, and then I just did, there's a not so obvious diverge, so I've taken that to end out at Hazel Street, which is a little bit closer to where I've parked, which is at Horseshoe, like the Horseshoe Falls car park. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to do some street walking and end back up at the car. Okay, so going back to the car has meant doing the start of Horseshoe Falls, or sorry, Burgess Falls track, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so nearly back of the car. Overall, the walk was only about 5Ks, and that was including all the side trails and investigating all the little waterfalls that are along the creek. So it's not, I guess, a challenging long walk. However, I guess there's little bursts of elevation change, and it does mean you can kind of explore the creek a bit more, which is really cool. So yeah, so a lot quieter than I was expecting it to be. It was a nice day for it. It was cooler, but sun's still out, and there was a lot of rain recently, so all the falls were decently flowing, which was good. So yeah, so would highly recommend. I was planning to do the Transit of Venus walk as well, but I think I ended up sort of being out here for almost 4 hours. No, yeah, 4 or 5 hours. So I head back home after this. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for coming along. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.